witches, it's me. I know I had said that I was going to post another video within a couple of days, and then I said on Monday I had a Girl Scout event I had to go to over the weekend. I'm a Girl Scout leader, so that kind of left me busy, and then I felt really drained afterwards because it was a whole thing, huge crowds. But the girls are happy and I'm happy, so it was worth it. This video is probably going to be more of an in-depth about me kind of thing, because the last one was very short because I was in a rush. I had to go pick up my daughter from school. So anyway, I have been practicing some sort of like witchcraft paganism for over 10 years. I started early teenager. That was around the time I made my first YouTube video. And then I grew on that. I grew on old YouTube for a long time. I met a lot of wonderful people, a lot of them that I'm still in contact with today. I started with like Tiptoe Chick and Charming Pixie Flora, and back when Brittany, who is now Palm Tree Bewitchery, was Coconut Summer 11, and it was a lot of the oldies were there, and it was really nice. I stopped doing videos a really long time ago, probably 7 years ago, mostly with like school and stuff like that, and I definitely was one of the younger ones on YouTube at the time and was in like the YouTube pagan community. But I'm back now. I was inspired to start my YouTube channel because of Dolores, Tiptoe Chick. There was something about her that had always like inspired me, and she fascinated me. Her videos were comforting, and I still watch a lot of them as like reference. And she had actually introduced me to a lot of others that I still talk to somewhat regularly. They've definitely been a big part of my life and a big part of me growing up and becoming who I am today. Yeah. And then I mostly stopped because I was not and am still not in a home where I can openly practice. So I had felt like a lot of my videos weren't as interesting as other people. And a lot of that just kind of started getting to me around the time that like my depression and my anxiety and stuff like that started acting up, and it just wasn't really what I was able to do at the time. I had suffered with anxiety and depression for a long, long time. I'm only just now getting on medication for it, and I'm feeling a lot better. I still have my bad days, but everybody does. And I know a lot. Some of the videos that I will be making on this channel will be talking more about mental health, because that is something that strongly impacts my life. And during this time of depression and panic and anxiety and all of this other things, I gave up a lot of what made me me. I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the motivation to do things like practice my craft and do anything I wanted to do. I mean, I was barely a wife, barely a mother. It was rough. I'd always had depression and anxiety while I was a teenager. But it got really bad after I got married and I had my daughter. I had a traumatic birth experience with her, and that left me really like a shell of a person for a long time. I went through really bad postpartum depression, which I will also talk about. Sorry, my mind kind of went all over. I heard one of my dogs walking outside my door and threw me off. It was rough. My husband, for the first couple of years of my daughter's life, or for the first couple of months, not couple of years, of my daughter's life actually was her primary caregiver. At the time we were suffering with him finding work, I was too out of it to work. There was, I'm gonna get into that in a different video because this will go on forever if I talk about that. Um, Over the years, it's gotten better, and I've slowly gotten back into um, myself and my craft, and most of that being actually because of Twitter. I met a lot of wonderful young witches and pagans on Twitter, and they have slowly been inspiring me and encouraging me to get back into myself and redoing and relearning who I am, and I am eternally grateful. They have they are some of like the most encouraging people I've ever met, and I'm really thankful for the Twitter pagan community. But I felt like it was part of me getting better. I felt was me getting a little bit more back into my roots, which is the YouTube pagan community. I have noticed it has changed a lot. There are a lot of people that I don't know on here that I am very, very excited to get to know. Um, I'm excited to be back. I've been watching everybody's videos that I can find, and this is going to be a bit of an adventure. I apologize if for the first couple of months I am very irregular with posting. I'm going to try and get into a schedule, but I have to see how it fits with my other commitments like Girl Scouts and motherhood and being a wife. And I don't have a job besides the volunteer work that I do and motherhood, if you count that. Um, so that'll help, but the stuff that I do does take a lot of my time, so that'll be interesting. So I'll work out a pretty regular schedule here soon, but hopefully you guys can be more patient with me in trying to figure this out. Um, my craft has changed, I've noticed, as I have changed, as it will with just about everybody. But before, when I was just starting, I feel like I did what a lot of people do, and they're very much like by the rules. And I had discovered paganism and witchcraft through Wicca. I had discovered a book of it in my high school library. It got me really interesting, started exploring on YouTube, found Tiptoe Chick and a bunch of other wonderful people. But I had gotten deep into more like Wicca and stuff like that, and I had was very by the rules. Even when that didn't make me the happiest, it was something I struggled with, and at the time, a big part of me felt like if I didn't follow the rules, it didn't count. I wasn't a witch, or I wasn't a pagan, or I wasn't Wiccan, or I wasn't whatever. Um, so that I think that was a lot of why I had decided to step back from it. On top of like my anxiety and depression, worrying about like rules and having to be a certain way and trying to maintain an online personality, and all of this was taking a lot of my energy, and I didn't have a lot of that to give. Now I do not identify as Wiccan in any way. I definitely appreciate a lot of the traditions of Wicca and a bunch of other things, but it's not for me. The rule setup doesn't work with me. I am very much all over the place. I can't go with certain rules. I don't follow any sort of god or goddess. I am purely focused on the earths and the earth's energies. I would go as far as to consider myself an atheist when it comes to belief in any sort of gods. I love the stories that the gods teach us and the goddesses. I admire them and like who they have been built up to be, but I don't really believe in any of them. I think that they are manifestations of our energies and our thoughts and all that, and it's just not me. I'm having a hard time explaining that, so I will probably do so in another video. Please don't hate me if I may have offended you in that. So I guess I would more say atheist witch or atheist pagan. Excuse me. Whichever you want to do. I have a weak esophagus, so if I burp a lot in this, I am sorry for being gross. It's hard for me to control, and a lot of times it will just slip out while I'm talking. So, as for right now, I think this video is starting to come to an end. My craft is still very limited as we live back with my parents now, so I am back in a position where I can't be fully open about it. Catholic parents and whatnot. My dog is barking, excuse me if you hear that. She is very jumpy and hears anything and goes nuts. So I am very confined to my little space, which is a mess right now, so that'll be another video. I'll probably have to do that one on my phone until I get better equipment. I'm still trying to see if this is something I actually want to be doing and want to commit to before I spend the money on a nicer camera or better sound equipment. So I apologize if the video is crap. I apologize if the sound and the audio is crap, but I am working on a small, like, desktop webcam right now, because we just gotten this recently. I had gotten rid of all video equipment when I had stopped, so there's that. I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm rambling and there's a lot of ands and ums, and so I'm gonna let you guys go with this one. I will eventually get more organized in my thought patterns and be able to make more coherent videos. I thank you guys for being patient with me. If you're watching, if you're not, that's also fine. No, if you're not, you don't see this video. So I'm gonna go. I appreciate all of you, and I will be back very, very soon.